What's up, YouTube? Curtain6693 here to bring you gaming and anime news, as well as anything that I find interesting. Man, I tell you, Comic Con has released some interesting news. There's been a lot of things that have been teased, trailered, announced. Things been talked about, but one of the things I want to talk about in this video was the Man of Steel Batman crossover that will be for the Man of Steel sequel. Um, so, for those of you who don't know, at the Comic Con, they revealed through a quote from the movie Dark Knight Returns something about I've never seen the movie, but it was something about Batman's telling Clark Clint to basically remember this because I'm the only one who beat you. Something about that. And they popped up on the logo showed Superman's crest inside the Batman logo, and they basically announced that basically the Man of Steel 2 will feature will feature Batman. Now, the crowd just went crazy. I heard people like, "Holy shit, Batman." Um, Me personally, I am very, very excited. I mean, who wouldn't be excited? Batman and Superman together. Honestly, I'm not the biggest DC fan, but I love Batman. I know pretty much. I won't say everything there's to know about Batman, but I know a lot more about Batman than I do pretty much anybody else. But I do have more respect for Superman, especially after seeing Man of Steel and playing Injustice: Gods Among Us, and seeing some of his seeing some movies by him. There's a movie on Netflix for him and Shazam are together on one part. But anyways, back to the Man of Steel discussion. And yeah. I'm very excited for this film. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I was looking at the video by Angry Joe, and he said something that was very interesting. He said, is he well? One of the things he was pointing out was, is it being too early for something this big to happen in the Superman universe? And I didn't think about that at first. I was like, "Holy crap!" Batman and Superman. I didn't think about every all that other stuff too. But after thinking about it, he actually is absolutely correct. You know, as much as I would love to see a Batman and Superman crossover. Do you guys think that it's too early? I mean, if you look at how Man of Steel was, a lot of people say there was a lot of character development. I think there was a lot. I think, especially with Superman, like in the other one of my other videos I said earlier, especially between Superman and his father. Now, I do think that there could have been more. There can be more that can be done with Superman and Lois Lane because they pretty much hinted at a. I won't say hinted. Yeah, Superman and Lois Lane are pretty much together. If you look at the end of the Man of Steel film, oh, I wouldn't say quite together, but maybe they got a huge crush on each other. Um, but I feel I was expecting to see a sequel with maybe Lex Luthor and another side villain, and then in the third one see some big stuff. And just like Anchor Joe said, I agree. I feel like there should have been at least another sequel to add meat to the universe of Superman, because I heard that they won't be using Christian Bale apparently, which is I'll get to that in a second, but I feel like they should have added more meat to the universe in the sequel first. Like I know that Superman works for the Daily Planet, and I feel like they could have done more. Like, how does he react to killing Zod? They could have had that as kind of like um, playing that into kind of like his moral character or character development in the second film, and the fact that he will be featuring now, a lot of people are saying, like, will Batman be versus Superman? The way they said it, they made it sound like that they may do a kind of a team, like head to head thing. I think it's still too early to say. I do think that this film is. I don't know if they'll be going exactly head to head, but I think from what I'd say there will be a moment of who's really the better superhero. I think there will be a moment in the film that it will come to that. Um, but I agree with Angel Joe. I think that it's too, it may be one film too early. Now, does that ruin the franchise? No. I'm sure if they do it correctly, they can still do it and things will be fine. But I do wish that I could have seen one more sequel to show him in his development at Daily Planet and his growing relationship with Lois Lane, introduce Lex Luthor, introduce, how people feel about Superman, now that he's actually saved the Earth and they know that he's not some freaky alien bad guy. Which some people still think that, but just in the sequel, things could have been developed a little bit more before they threw in, Batman and all that. But nonetheless, I am still excited for this film and this announcement. Some of the other announcements were, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then Electro and Rhino, and I will most likely get to that in another video, because there's some stuff I got to say about that too. But yeah, man, it looks like next Man of Steel film will be Batman and Superman. Now, oh, I almost forgot. Now, as far as Batman, the Christian Bale not being Batman, like I said in one of my previous videos, I wish what they should have done was taken Christian Bale, put him as Batman in the Superman, new DC universe, but just make it to where he has no ties, no continuity ties Dark Knight trilogy. Either that or cast Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Batman, or as, I don't know, just something. Um, but me personally, I would have just preferred they had just taken Christian Bale and just made him Batman, but just have no, like I said, have no real ties of storyline or plot to the Dark Knight trilogy. Um, Another thing that would have been cool. What if they could have taken Christian Bale and said this? The things that are happening in Man of Steel 2 could have taken place maybe in between the first one and second one, because there was a 9-minute break in between the first one and second one, between Ra's al Ghul and the Joker, or the second and third one. But I don't know how they would have affected the plot, or if it would have made plot holes. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there off the top of my head. But they could have done something. But it looks like so far we may not see Christian Bale, and that's a huge disappointment. But if they do recast Batman, who do you guys think will be the new Batman? Do you think someone can do as good a job as Batman as Christian Bale can? Me personally, no. But here's what I say. I say whoever, if there is another Batman besides Christian Bale, what they should do is they should write the character to where he stays true to Batman being a badass and true to Bruce Wayne being Bruce Wayne, but they should not make him exactly follow Christian Bale. You know, they don't draw the line. Like for instance, like if you take Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, and you take Andrew Garfield in The Amazing Spider-Man by Mark Webb, if I'm not mistaken, even though you can draw your comparisons about them, you can tell that they didn't try to make the two Peter Parkers the same. You know what I mean? Like they were Peter Parker, but they were in their own way. They were Peter Parker. That's if they do new Batman. That's how it should be. It is still Bruce Wayne. It is still Batman, and it is still good. But it is not the exact same. You know, I feel like that's what they should do. But let me know what you guys think. Comment, favorite, subscribe. Are you guys excited for this Man of Steel 2 sequel? Are you excited that Batman is showing up so early? Are you excited he's showing up at all? Are there any other things that you guys are looking forward to? Like I said before, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know I know you guys probably don't care about Power Rangers, but Jason David Frank is going to be in some kind of special episode, some kind of special movie or something, where they bring in all the old Power Rangers and put in, or they're trying to have a huge, massive Power Rangers thing going on. But I know most people my age are too old for that. But hey, nostalgia. But is there anything else you guys are excited for? Let me know. If there's any other announcements about the Man of Steel movie that I missed or I just forgot to talk about, let me know or put it in the comments and I'll address it in a later video. Thank y'all. Have a good night. Curtain 6693 out.